Open your phone. Go to every social media app that you have. Scroll for a while. You'll notice that every platform, every alternate post, every other piece of advice out there is screaming the same thing at you. That is, be authentic. Don't fake it. Be your real self. But no one's actually talking about why you're not able to do that. What is this inauthenticity, quote unquote inauthenticity, that everyone is suddenly obsessed with curing? And if you've ever felt that invisible pressure to be yourself but don't know how to do that anymore, give me the next 5 minutes. We're going to go deeper than surface level self-help right here. Hi there, I'm Yashika, founder of Evry Mind Thinkss, which is a training and education venture where we are currently helping solopreneurs, freelancers, and coaches overcome whatever is silently blocking their growth. And we do that through our unique framework and ecosystem, which is built around inner transformation and strategic execution. More on that later. But today, as I said, today we are addressing something which is at the very root of our creative, emotional, and professional stuckness. The real reason we tend to feel disconnected from our authentic self and our authentic expression. So yeah, let's start here. What exactly is inauthenticity? Think about it. It's not about lying or pretending. It's when you can't bring your real self to different situations, whether it's a client call or a post that you want to share on the social media, or a simple conversation with your prospect. And by now, we all know that being real is truly rewarding in the kind of business that we're in. Think of those moments where we hold back our actual opinion just because we're scared that it might sound too much. You know, when we filter our words, some words got to be filtered, of course, but otherwise, when we filter our words, our creativity, our unique style, or even our personality just to seem acceptable or likable. And that's not because we're weak or fake. It's because our mind has been trained to associate safety with approval. So being authentic feels like a risk, not a right. And here's where it gets deeper as well as interesting. If we were to trace back all the inner voices that try to stop us every time we try to show up as ourselves, they'd sound something like this. Will people like this? What if this flops? What if I'm judged? What if I lose them? And all of these thoughts belong to one category, that is seeking external validation. Yes, you might have heard that before or even researched on that, but keep watching. Picture abhi baki hai mere dost. Now that we've given external validation the spotlight, let's also see what research says. So psychologist Carl Rogers called this conditional positive regard. The idea that love, approval, and acceptance are conditional upon meeting someone else's expectations. As children, we absorb this. We learn that we are valued when we behave, speak, and achieve in ways that others approve of. And that belief quietly evolves into a lifelong pattern where we chase external validation, external approval, instead of ensuring internal alignment. This creates a massive gap between your real self, that is who you are, and your ideal self, that is who you should be. And that gap, that's inauthenticity. Another theory called the Self-Discrepancy theory by Tory Higgins explains this even further. It says that we humans, we operate with three versions of ourselves: the actual self, the ideal self, and the ought self. And the ought self is basically the version of us which others think we should be. When we constantly seek validation over a period of time, we start to over-identify with that ought self. And slowly, our real self starts to get buried under expectations, filters, and performance. And that's why even success can feel exhausting. Because it's not really our success. It's validation dressed as achievement. Let that sink in. Chalo, we spoke about the reason and the science behind it. Now, how do we reverse this cycle? The answer is not another hack or generic affirmation or tip. It's basically retraining our validation source from the external to the internal, and here's how we start. Number one, build self-trust without complicating it. Stop outsourcing every decision, okay? Don't worry, this won't lead to decision fatigue, but yeah, start small. Keep one promise to yourself daily. Because when you do that repeatedly, your brain starts believing that I can count on me. Number two, define your actual core values. Now, if you've ever been into any kind of life coaching before, you know what I'm talking about. You're already familiar with this concept. But for today, just be a little more honest with yourself, go a little more deep with yourself, and ask yourself, what is it that matters to me when nobody is watching? That is your internal compass, which keeps you anchored even when external approval shakes you. And last but not the least, number three, practice non-judgment, not the theoretical way. Okay, this is for especially when we make a mistake. So every time we make a mistake and we're judging ourselves, just try to catch yourself when you are judging your own self in your own head. Instead of spiraling into self-criticism, genuinely forgive yourself. Try doing that. Try to genuinely forgive yourself, acknowledge what happened, and try saying that, okay, that didn't go as I'd hoped. What can I learn from it? What do I have to release or let go about this right now? What can I do right now to compensate for it if that's required? And what can I do now to make myself feel better about it? Now, these aren't one-time fixes, okay? They are muscles. And the more you train them, the quieter that need for external validation becomes. Because judgment disconnects, but reflection reconnects. The truth. Inauthenticity isn't who you are. It is the high price that we pay for conditional acceptance. It is what happens when we've sought external validation for too long. And if this message spoke to you, hit subscribe and follow us across platforms for more conversations like this, because the journey to becoming and expressing our authentic self, especially in our work, starts not with performance, but with permission. This is Yashika signing off. Until we meet again, see you soon.